Hey, good morning, everybody. This is Rebekah Simon Peter with Spiritual Mojo, and I'm the author of the book Dream Like Jesus, and I love bringing new ideas and new dreams to life. So I am here with 15 minutes to uphold your spirit, uplift your consciousness, and up level your faith. That's Spiritual Mojo last Sunday in December 2020. So I don't have to tell you, it's been a totally weird year full of amazing lows and amazing highs. And there were times I wasn't sure I was going to get through it. There were a couple of times I thought, just roll over and die, girl. This year is not happening. And then there were other times that I thought, oh my gosh, this is the most amazing year I've ever had. And there were times that my heart was full of peace and gladness. And I kind of suspected that the same may be true for you. So earlier this week, I decided to ask you, my Facebook friends, to tell me what were the hidden blessings of 2020. So your answers were really amazing, and I decided to distill the answers and share with you here today the seven surprise blessings of 2020. That this is what emerged from your answers. So as we get started today, I just love to know, where are you? Just put it in the comments. Where are you? Are you in the United States? Are you somewhere else? What city? What town? It's always fun to see where people are listening from, because you never know who's going to tune in. And then the other thing I'd love for you to say is, what are you actually grateful for today? What are you grateful for? That'd be really nice to know. So now, drum roll please. Drum roll please. The seven surprise blessings of 2020. I'm going to start with number seven, David Letterman style, and we're going to work our way to number one. So the seven surprise blessings. Oh, I want to get my chime, so I'm going to make it really fancy for you. The seven surprise blessings of 2020. Here we go. Number seven, a new relationship with family. That was by far the winner, a new relationship with family. I got such great answers like, my son being employed because of the pandemic, he was able to come home for over 2 months, and first helping his dad clean up 60 plus years of collections. And then when that became too difficult, to be another set of eyes and ears to help with caregiving for his dad. What a huge blessing it was. That's a cool answer. Here's another cool answer. Learning new jazz chords late into the night with my music major son, who was home for 2 months because of COVID. Group texting with my daughters and Zooming with my beloved seminary sisters. One of my friends said I got to spend a ton of time with my 11-month-old. It was almost like paternity leave 2.0. I thought that was really great. I married a wonderful man, one of my friends said, and started a new life. So in the midst of terrible circumstances, somehow we were resourceful and creative. We rediscovered our family. We got to spend amazing time with our families, caring for my first grandchild to keep him safe, and then getting a new cat and getting a new puppy. So banner year in many ways for families. I hope that you are blessed in some way with family, friends, or pets as a surprise blessing of 2020. All right, you ready for number six? Here we go. Number six, deeper spirituality. Oh my gosh, I love this answer. So many people said, I just got closer to God. One person said, God spoke the most eye-opening things to me that truly impacted my spiritual growth once I slowed down long enough to really listen. Oh, I thought that was so cool. One person wrote, I feel more spiritual than ever, and I've learned who my truest friends are. There was something about the pandemic and the quarantine, the lockdown, the staying in place, all that stuff that we have done and are doing that really focused in on what's deepest within us and what's closest to us and who's closest to us. And then the last one in that category, I think this is my favorite, release from expectations that are not of God. I kind of experienced that when I was in quarantine after my husband tested positive for COVID, and he's fine, by the way, and I didn't get it. I loved being in quarantine. I loved the lower expectations that were there for me. Now, that's not going to be true for everybody, but I'm so grateful that I had that experience. So, did you experience any shifts in your family or in your spirituality, your life with God? Put that in the chat window. It would be fun to really look at that. All right, number 5, renewed creativity. Oh my gosh, you people have been exploding with creative stuff. One person said creativity in turning my piano studio into virtual lessons. That's cool. A lot of us had to figure that out. How do we take our live stuff and turn it online? Another friend said, I finished writing a book I've been working on for over 5 years, and the writing really helped me find some healing and peace in a deep, wounded area of my life. And I'm so grateful that that happened. Wow, there's a good use of quarantine and lockdown. Another friend said, I'm taking online courses with Landmark that I've wanted to take for years. And I know the feeling. I got to take some courses I've wanted to take for years too. And then here's my favorite. Staying at home all the time allowed me the time and energy to actually learn how to cook healthy. Both me and my husband, we've lost 60 pounds each. Woohoo! That's amazing. Some of us put on the pandemic 50, and some of us have taken off the creativity 60. So way to go. That's really excellent. Yay for creativity. All right, number 4. This is a beautiful one. Number 4. These are the 7 surprise blessings of 2020. Self-love, renewed self-love and self-care. Renewed self-love and self-care. So learning to slow down. It's amazing what a gift that is of the spirit and the heart and the body. Learning to slow down. Learning to meditate and love myself, another friend said. And then this one person said, enforced introversion. You could tell that person was an extrovert, but there was something really powerful about this enforced introversion, looking within. What's in my soul, my home, my space, my life, my thoughts. Very, very interesting. Definitely a hidden blessing, a surprise blessing of 2020. And then lastly, the time and intention to clear space, not only physically, but spiritually. The time and intention to clear space, not only physically, but spiritually. I'll tell you what, since Christmas Day, I've been cleaning out my garage. I'm clearing space physically and spiritually. It's amazing what happens when you get really clear about your stuff, what you need, what you don't need, who you are, who you're not anymore, what things can go by the wayside, what you've been hanging on to you just don't need, or somebody else could use. I found a garage full of blessings that I'm blessing other people with. So there's some surprise blessings. You may get a gift from my garage, a garage gift. All right, so renewed creativity, self-love, and self-care. So with this chime, I invite you, put in the comments section. Did you experience any new shifts in creativity? Anything new in self-love and self-care? Put that in the comments. We'd love to see what's happening in your life. Or if you'd like a garage gift, you can make a note about that too. All right, now we come to number 3. Number 3, more time in nature. More time in nature. We spend more time by ourselves, more time with introversion, and more time with God, more time with our family, and more time with ourselves. A lot more time spent outdoors is what people had to say. Hiking devotionals. One of my friends who wears a kilt took a picture of himself in a kilt. Hiking devotionals. Loved it. And then moving out of the city, one of my friends did, and stringing up a hammock in the forest. I don't know that she was living in the hammock, but having a whole new life that was more nature-centered. I myself did a heck of a lot of hiking this summer. Now, I love to hike anyway. I walked to work most mornings and home most evenings, and that was nice. And then I hiked a lot on the weekends, and just being in nature. Couldn't be around people that much, but there was something about being in nature that was perhaps even more, I don't know, nurturing, or kept me in touch with life. Now, we're to number 2. Number 2, you ready? Number 2, reconnection to the world. Reconnection to the world. Wasn't there a lot? Isn't there a lot going on in the world right now? Listen to this. Though often panicked and full of grief, one friend wrote, I also had moments of joy and inspiration in the outpouring of protests on behalf of George Floyd. The whole Black Lives Matter movement, where we linked arms to call for something greater, a shift in the way things are done, the status quo, looking at systemic racism, calling for a new way of being. Another friend wrote, slowing down and watching the world around me slow down. Remember the early pictures from the pandemic where we saw empty streets in New York City and wildlife returning to the canals in Italy? All that beautiful reemergence of nature as we slowed down, nature slowed down, or the, human, I was going to say human traffic, but that's not what I meant. Our goings slowed down so we could see nature reemerge. Very beautiful. Being able to teach my kids how to worship God regardless of circumstances is not about what's going on out there. They've also learned what it means to stand up for what they believe in, even if it's not the popular opinion. That's powerful. That's very powerful. Another friend wrote, watching all the election turnout and watching our new president and vice president-elect forming a partnership, and a very historic partnership at that. An opportunity to become more engaged with others in talking about racism. Attending online worship with multiple congregations. Have you ever wanted to church hop and maybe you're the pastor? You got to do it this year. Have you been very devoted in your service and your attendance at one congregation? You got to church hop too. Now, a lot of our pastors began to record their worship on Thursday, Friday, Saturday. They had Sundays off. You've had Sundays off for the first time in years. I'm so happy for you that you've gotten to serve and relax and have time in nature and have time with your family in a way as never before. Maybe my favorite comment, though, in this section of reconnecting with the world is getting jerked awake. Getting jerked awake. Now, I don't know exactly what that meant. I can imagine. But just like coming to in the world, like this world is different than I thought it was. Who I am is different than I thought I am. What I can connect to is different than what I thought I could connect to. Even in this enforced isolation, the ways we've connected with each other has been astonishing and amazing. Online things we never would have done online that we're now doing. We threw a surprise birthday party for my mom, her 84th birthday, and for my parents' 63rd anniversary on Zoom. We had people from all over the world. We never would have thought of doing that before. It was just amazing. I know many of you had Thanksgivings with people all over the country and Christmas. So did you feel more connected to the world? What'd you do? What was amazing for you when it came to the world or time in nature, kind of those opposites, out in the world of people and then in nature? Put that in the comments section. I'll love to see what you've been up to. And then the last category of the 7 surprise blessings of 2020. Are we ready? Number 1, priceless life lessons. Priceless life lessons. Here they are, each one deserving of a chime in and of itself. Such powerful lessons. The affirmation that happiness cannot be bought. Wow. The affirmation that happiness cannot be bought. Number 2, I found myself and cut all loose ends. That has to be my favorite answer of all the 37 answers I got. I found myself and cut all loose ends. Oh my gosh, that's so powerful. So powerful. Who are you really? What are you really deep inside? What are you called to? What are your blessings? What are your gifts? What's your history? What's your future? Have you found yourself? Have you created yourself and cut all loose ends? And this one friend has, and I am overjoyed. I just think that's the coolest answer. And then number 3, letting go of busyness as a measure of accomplishment. Gosh, how many of us have just thought, well, if I'm busy, I'm good. If I'm busy, I'm happy. If I'm busy, I'm serving God. If I'm busy, I'm blank, blank, blank. Letting go of busyness as a measure of accomplishment. What an extraordinary life lesson. Well, friends, this was so revealing for me to hear your answers. Thanks for reaching out and answering the question about the hidden blessings of 2020 for you. Thank you so much for sharing. We know that there's been great sorrow. We know there's been great struggle. We know there's been loss of life. We know that there's been tremendous sorrow. And yet, in the midst of it all, we have experienced blessings we truly, really have. And so I invite you to hold those blessings and the goodness and the joy and the unexpected insights, the priceless life lessons, the reconnection with the world here we're going in retrospective, the reconnection with the world, the renewed creativity, self-love and self-care, more time in nature, deeper spirituality, and new relationship with family. I invite you to hold all of that together in your heart, in your mind, and in your memory as you look back on 2020. It wasn't all bad. There were some amazing things that happened. So I just want to say thank you so much for joining me today. And if you have a priceless life lesson that you haven't commented on yet, put that in the comment section. And it was so great to be with you. And now, if you enjoyed this Spiritual Mojo, and I hope you did, I invite you to like it. You can put a little heart there. And then lastly, share it. Share it with other people that you know need to know about the 7 surprise blessings of 2020. And there's somebody in your circle of friends that could benefit from this message. Then do me a favor. I am so proud about this. I hope proud in a good way. I am so proud we've been working really hard behind the scenes on our new website, RebekahSimonPeter.com. Would you mind just going there and checking it out? There's all kinds of things you can do once you're there. There are videos to watch. There's spiritual mojos to watch. You can sign up for our Transformation weekly newsletter. You can watch some testimonials. You can download your free Dare to Dream Like Jesus plan. All kinds of stuff. We're going to be rolling out new programs in 2021. Tune into Spiritual Mojo because this is where it's going to be. Some very neat things that will be happening. And thanks again for joining me. Thank you. Farewell to 2020. Welcome 2021. I look forward to seeing it together with you. God bless you. God keep you. I love you. Have a great day and a great end of your year.